In this video, I'm going to cover some key training terms that you need to know about when you're getting started in the gym to maximize your results. So the first terminology is repetitions. Repetitions are how many times you repeat that movement in a time frame without rest. So for instance, if I say, let's do 10 repetitions of squat, you will do 10 repetitions over and over again of squats and then have a rest. That completion of 10 repetitions in one go is called a set. So you will do 10 repetitions is one set. If you're prescribed 3 sets of 10 repetitions, you will do 10 squats, have a rest, 10 squats, have a rest, 10 squats, have a rest. And that is 3 sets of 10 repetitions of an exercise. Another important terminology is tempo. Tempo refers to how fast or how slow you move through the different range of motion during an exercise and whether there's a pause or not involved. So for instance, having a look at this leg press, you can see the tempo is 3 seconds on the eccentric phase, which is the lowering phase of the movement. So as I'm bringing the plate towards me, that's 3, 2, 1, 1 second pause, and then push up as fast as you can. That is the general tempo that you will do for hypertrophy training. Is usually a 3 to 4 second eccentric phase, 0 to 2 second pause, and then as fast as you can out of the movement. There may be a quick rest at the top for a breath, and then you go again. So for instance, in this hip thrust, you can see that I'm actually doing a 3 second pause at the top of the movement to really make sure I've got nice, strong glute engagement. And for some exercises, you'll just do a general controlled tempo, like you can see in this exercise here. Now, eccentric, concentric, isometric, what are all of those? So isometric means that you're holding the exercise and you're not moving through any ranges at all. An example of this is holding a plank. You're going to hold a position and you're squeezing all your muscles, but you're not moving through a range. That's an isometric exercise. Eccentric and concentric are different phases of an isotonic exercise, which is where you move through ranges. So if we refer to a shoulder press, for instance, when you press above your head, you push up, that is the concentric phase. And as you slowly lower down, that is the eccentric phase. How I like to think about it is concentric, you say quite snappy, concentric. And when you're eccentrically lowering, you can say it a bit slower, like eccentric lowering. I don't know if that will help you, but that's always helped me when I first learned about it. So for instance, when you do a lat pull down, it's opposite. So when you pull down, that's the concentric phase, and as you slowly let it go, that is the eccentric phase. Now, why does this matter? Because increasing the time on the eccentric phase and powering through the concentric phase is the best for muscle hypertrophy. So for instance, when we are doing a shoulder press, when we push up, we go as fast as we can, and then as we come down nice and slowly through the eccentric phase, we're resisting the weight pushing us back down, but we're also resisting the impact of gravity. So there's extra weight on us as we slowly control the lowering back down. So it's super important to go slow on the eccentric, fast on the concentric when you want to build muscle. Now, some other terminologies that I often prescribe to my client is a rest pause. So a rest pause is when you do as many repetitions as allocated, so that might be 10 repetitions, and then you take a 10 to 20 second rest, ideally 10 seconds. So you count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go again, do as many repetitions as you can, and sometimes you'll do that process over again. This technique is actually really effective for improving not only how much volume you get done in a set, but also your strength, because it is forcing you to do a couple more reps after you've failed into a more failure. So it's more volume at that higher intensity and that higher weight. I find rest pauses really beneficial on exercises such as shoulder press, squat, leg press, anything like that where you've got to push and there's often a failure portion of that push. You need to have a little rest and then you go again. Another technique that I like to use is drop sets. So a drop set is when you do the prescribed amount of exercises. Again, let's just say 10 because it's easier to remember. 10 repetitions, and you're doing 10 repetitions of a shoulder press at 12 kilo dumbbells. Then you're going to pick up lighter dumbbells, say 8 kilos, and then you're going to perform as many repetitions as you can. And if your coach is really nasty and they say triple drop set, which I often do, you'll put the 8 kilo dumbbells down, you'll pick up some 5 kilo dumbbells, and then you'll do as many repetitions as you can of that shoulder press till failure again. I just want to note that that these extra little techniques that you can do at the end of sets is increasing your fatigue. So it's not something that I would incorporate into every single set and every single exercise, because that's just going to make your fatigue go crazy through the roof, and then you're not going to be able to execute all the exercises prescribed for you as effectively. So let your coach prescribe them in bits and pieces here and there to help enhance your training. It can also be a form of progressive overload that you can incorporate into your training to make it more challenging as your strength and fitness improves. Now, partial reps to the death sound horrible, and they are amazingly horrible, and that involves going through the full range as prescribed, and then when you get to failure, you then start doing those half reps, and then you will do quarter rep, and then you do mini baby rep, and then you hold. And you hold for as long as you can in that stretched position before you fail. So you're going from that full range all the way down to a holding position till failure. This is a great technique to do when you can do it in that stretched position, because training in the stretched position is actually the best secret hack for muscle hypertrophy. So for instance, doing it in the shoulder press, you would do it in this bottom range. If you're doing it in a squat, you would do it in the bottom of a squat. If you're doing it with Bulgarian split squats, you do it in the bottom of the Bulgarian split squats. Another technique that you'll often see is supersetting. So that can be where you're doing similar exercises to pre-fatigue a muscle before doing another exercise, or you might do opposing muscles so that you can just get more volume in a shorter amount of time. So an example of doing opposing might be, you might do a push and a pull exercise. So you might do a bench press and then go straight away, no rest, into a row exercise. And you just alternate between the two. So you're pushing and then you're rowing and then you have a rest and you repeat. Another technique can be doing it as a pre-fatiguing type of thing. So what you could do is you could do some glute banded abductions or a crab walk and then go straight into your hip thrusts, so that you've already got this glute activation, mind muscle connection, and a little bit of fatigue, and then you go into those hip thrusts. You're going to be a lot more effective with that mind muscle connection in those hip thrusts than you would have been if you hadn't done that at first. Another superset that I really enjoy doing, which is quite mean, is a shoulder press supersetted with some lateral raises. So it just really fatigues those shoulders and crams in a lot of volume to really promote that hypertrophy. And finally, another super important element of resistance training to get results is progressive overload. And that means to continually make changes to your training program in a progressive manner, not a random manner, in a controlled, organized, progressive manner to help your body to continue to adapt, improve, grow, get stronger. So this could look like on one day you did 10 repetitions of shoulder press at 10 kilos. And then the next time you come and train, you're able to smash out 15 repetitions of that 10 kilos of the shoulder press. So then it's time to go up in the weight. So the next time you train, you might use 12.5 kilo dumbbells and you can only do 8, but that's okay because you've gone up in weight. So that's another form of progressive overload. So first we increased the repetitions from going 10 to 15. Now we're increasing the weight by going from 10 kilos to 12.5 kilos. Another option you could do is to slow it down and add a pause. So you might lower down, hold 1, 2, and then push back up. Now suddenly you're putting your muscle under tension for a lot longer, so it's harder on the muscle. Another version is to increase the range of motion. So you could, for instance, if you were doing a stationary lunge, you could start by doing a deficit reverse lunge. Instead of staying in the one spot on the ground, you're now standing on a step, and then you're going to step down and back up again, increasing the stretch that occurs in your glute, so therefore increasing the range of motion and making it a more challenging exercise. And they are my most recommended ways to do some progressive overload. I hope that helped with anyone who's starting out in the gym or getting a new training program, especially from me, because I do use all those terminology words and the different type of training techniques in my programming, because it helps to keep it interesting and it helps to add some progressive overload measures in as well and get some awesome results. So if you have any other questions about any of the things I've talked about, or if you have any other words or different techniques that you're not sure about and you want to learn a little bit more about, let me know in the comments below. And if you would like to have some coaching or training programs written by me, there will be an inquire link down below in the description where you can inquire via a message, or you can book a call and we can have a quick meet and greet to see if I can help you out and the different coaching options that I have on offer. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you want to learn about next. I'm here to provide you guys with whatever you need to know, want to know, anything at all. I'm enjoying doing this. I want to keep going, so let me know what you want to learn about next, and I'll see you next time. See you later.